I'm ready.
Good evening, Matt. Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to GKP Thursday Night Live. First of all, I'm going to hit off with apologies all, and apologies to all those that I may have offended and upset last week by having a life and taking my wife out for a meal. I know that that's not the dumb thing in the land of YouTube, but as I did say, and I have been saying, I'm going to try spending a little bit more time with my family. After having a 5 a.m. start and going to work all day long and getting home at 7:10, I thought, I'm not going to have much time to do a live tonight, and I'm absolutely done in. So I decided that I would have the night off, and instead took my wife out. We had something to eat and then an early night. I'm sorry that upset a few people, but you'd be surprised just how many shitty messages I got. And I don't really personally think it's called for. I know that people enjoy watching this madness. That is what it is. But at the same time, I do need a life too. And I have said that I am trying to get to be doing a little bit more of the family first thing. So as I've always said in the past, family first. If for any reason there's anything majorly wrong, or there's something up, or there's some reason as to why I may not be doing a live, you'll be the first to know. If there's something drastic gone wrong in my life, I will tell you. I will let you all know. But if I'm not there, or I'm not doing a live, and there's no actual broadcast showed, or there's been no post in the Facebook group saying, please share the pictures of your fish and the rest of it, blah, blah, blah. I feel that it's pretty obvious that I'm not going to be doing a live, and I don't really appreciate the amount of backlash that I got for it. All those that didn't, thank you very much, guys, for being understanding. And for those that did a little bit of a live as a step in, thank you very much, guys, for doing what you did, Vince, and the rest of you that had a little bit of a natter in a chat. I appreciate it. But it was a case of I was just tired, done in, early start, long day, and I needed a rest. And I've been saying I need a rest for the last 2 or 3 weeks. So people obviously haven't been listening when I've been saying I'm going to be spending a little bit more time. So that's all it was. I apologize for not being there. After all, it's only the 6th Thursday night live that I have missed in 3.5 years. There are plenty of Thursday night lives and there are plenty of content on my videos out there for you to find an whole evening's worth of entertainment and watch something that no doubt you've probably missed in the past before. Feel free to click on any of them and leave a comment if you're watching it on a catch-up. It'd be greatly appreciated. Other than that, the second one is I have to apologize just in case this cocks up in any way, shape or form. I have gone away from Virgin Media and I have got myself a new internet provider. So it's a case of if this goes to a bit iffy or I start going a bit robotic, it might be my internet connection fluctuating a little bit up and down. And literally minutes before I came on, I've just been threading a new cable through my wall so I could plug it into my PC. That's just arrived today. And then in doing so, I knocked my PC slide out drawer for my keyboard off and broke it. So Matt joined me in the back room and he could see me with my head under the desk and me rattling around trying to sort things out and trying to get things going again. There's a bit of a mad. You could just see it top of my head. But yeah, I appreciate it, guys. But there is a need. There was a few people that thought it'll be relevant to leave a snidey remark on the Facebook group. What you got to remember, guys, is all of us, not just me, all these people out there that do YouTube, all of us, we all do it for free. And we do it for our own entertainment and for your entertainment if you enjoy watching it. We don't get paid for it via you guys. We make a little bit of a income, so to speak, and it is only a little bit. And that comes from YouTube. So the only person I really should be apologizing to for not being there is YouTube, technically my employer. But there's no clocking in and clocking out. I think we all deserve a break every now and again, and I just need a little bit of me time. Now, obviously, hopefully, fingers crossed. The reason why I thought it'd be nice to take her out, she'd had a long day. She's had a long couple of months where she's been sat up with an operation on her foot, and it's been a case of trying to get back to a little bit of norm. And we both missed dates that we could have gone out and had time out. So it was a case of nice meal out, me and her, bit of me time, bit of us time. And it just happened to be the perfect night to do it was a Thursday night. So apologies to all. Anyway, we have got this week, we have got the Koi appreciation. And for all those that did send in your videos, thank you very much. I've still got them on the Facebook group. For all those that's added them in again this week, thank you very much for sharing us. We will be going and having a look at them. Rick will be joining us very shortly. I have sent a link out to Crafty as well. Hopefully, fingers crossed. If anybody else got any, oh my God, karashi guys that you would like, whether it be a Ginrin karashi, whether it be a normal straight Wagoi karashi guy or a Deutsch karashi guy, if you want to post them in on the Facebook group, feel free to just stick them in there. You'll see the little link where it says please post your comments or any topics that you would like to have an hour and a chat about for us this evening. There's very few topics coming through. So if anybody's got any topics they want to talk about in here, I have had one sent through to me on Messenger as well, which I will be bringing up as well. But fingers crossed, we should have some topics. Stick the word question in capital letters or write it all out in capital letters, whichever you prefer. So it stands out a little bit different. But fingers crossed, we should be able to enjoy some nice fish. But there is one other thing. As I've stated and I've said, I'm going to start cutting them back a little bit. 7:30 till 10 is what we're going to be doing. So from now moving forward, Matt, if that means that you have to sup a couple of rums quicker, then please do so. Make sure you get them down your neck. But Rick will be joining with us shortly. He says he's just getting tea sorted for his family. So job's a good one. How's your week been, mate?
Same as every week.
Same as every week. Manic, mate. Manic.
Yeah. Just this week's obviously with tomorrow being a Friday, everybody off. It's like a long weekend for us. So I've had to try to squeeze in all the jobs that I would normally do over a week in the 4 days. And then you get the needy ones. I'm smiling because I know he's watching. They just want me to go up and just give him a cuddle and fuss and look after his wife.
So have you had a lot of people rushing to get orders out before the bank holiday, or to try and get, because you've got to make sure you get them all in for Wednesday through to Thursday, aren't you, with the bank holiday being Friday and then obviously Monday. So you'll not be sending anything out, I would imagine, till Tuesday through to Wednesday, won't you, next week?
Tuesday now.
You stay up and then through with the shop for the bank holiday?
Yeah, we're literally, I'm here for the next 4 days. And I posted a picture last weekend. We had, it's hard to explain, but the drive coming down to us, we had all cars backed up waiting to come in. And it's a dead end. So the first one, how do you get the first one out when you've got a queue of traffic waiting to come in? So,
so you had to do a bit of road management as well.
Yeah, it got a bit hectic, but we're lucky now. His neighbour's given us permission to go into the field if we need to, which is then allows us to have a round robin straight in, straight out.
I'm just going to give a quick mention because Lebo's Koi Pond, he has started doing a little bit of merchandise, guys, and he's been posting a few bits and bats on my Facebook group, which no problem with me. I thought I'd give you a little bit of a shout out. If anybody's interested, if you go and have a look at my Facebook group, which is Gazza's Koi Pond Community, you'll see his little advertisements for little samples that he's been doing. If anybody wants a little bit of merch doing or anything, I think they're doing both prints and embroidery work. So give him a bell, give him a message and see if he can sort you out. Fingers crossed, mate. You get a few people come through. As you were, mate. As you were. Sorry, I didn't want to forget because I'd seen it and I was putting in a few bits and bats of his stuff that he's been doing as samples.
I'm going to get. I saw one there. The one actually from Lebo where it's what was it? Oh, towels. I'm going to get some beach towels done. That'd be cool as hell, wouldn't it? Can you imagine leaving all your towels down on the beach with Howie Coy written on it, and then go off for a swim and come back?
People would be stealing it, wouldn't they? They'd be so popular.
Well, either that or I come back and everybody would be sat on my towel thinking, this is the place to be. I've heard all about him. No.
Well, we've got a few questions coming there. Susan's put in a first one there. Some of my fish are flashing, but can't find anything on scrapes. Water test spot on. Could it be something in the water from the mains? I run top-ups through a dechlorinator. Well, one thing it could be, and I have found, when you say that you've noticed them flashing a little bit, when my KH drops and gets low, my fish flash a little bit. So it could be a pH or KH issue. Have you checked your KH? I'm not saying it is, but I know when mine drops a little bit, mine tend to flash around a little bit. And then if I raise it back up gradually through the day, they seem to be all right and settle out and stop doing it. So maybe it could be something along those sort of lines. Any ideas? What if you've done scrapes and you've got KH is 7, pH is 7.4? Well, that answers that one then. So in that one.
The only thing I would say again, and I mentioned it last week, was
chlorine.
No, Costia.
Yeah, a lot more difficult to find, aren't
they? They are, and I've done probably about 8 scrapes this week, and one in particular. You'd done his scrapes, gone for it all, couldn't find anything at all. Went there, put my microscope on, and immediately went in the Costia. And what the problem is that people aren't zooming in enough or using a big enough magnification, and you can see the fluke. but the Costia in comparison is, if you imagine a fluke with an eye, it's that sort of size. Actually, it's probably smaller than the eye of a fluke if it had an eye. It doesn't, but you can see.
What would you say the ideal magnification for Costia is? What would you go down to?
Or like you say, it's the yellow one, the one in the middle.
Oh, right, yeah. So you've got 10 times 40, 10 times 50, and 10 times 60. Is it? It's on a standard. Everyone knows it. I'm not 100% sure because I know this. I just go the small one, the medium one, and the long one. So I check them all. But what I've found when you're looking for Costia, normally the easier way of finding them is to look around the mucus, where you can see if you put a driplet of water on your mucus before you put your cover over it, you'll see that you've around your mucus scraping, you'll see that you've got a liquid. And in that liquid of the water, you see them more there than what you will do on the actual mucus. You normally see them dashing around. I'll scrape again today and look closer for Costia. Good idea. There we go. Hopefully, fingers crossed, because Costia is a one that does definitely irritate the hell out of them. Yeah. And if left unchecked, can end up with some serious scale damage too.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, probably Costia is one of the
nastiest.
Nastiest of the lot, especially if it's unchecked.
Fluke's more irritating. White spot, again, not good for him. But I think Costia is definitely more of the killer one, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. So going back onto the treatment, I'm just looking at it because I've bloody forgotten the name of it. Alpha-X, sorry. So Alpha-X does everything, doesn't it, Gaz? Apart from flukes.
Yeah, Alprex does Costia, Trichodina, and Chilidanella.
Yeah. So I don't understand why more people don't actually use it.
Yeah, Alprex is good. It can also be used as a tonic as well, even if your fish are just not that, and it's also quite good to use on new introduction to fish on a like a half dose of what you would do normally, which is I will be doing very shortly.
I just don't get why more people don't use it now. But I haven't used it much in the past. Actually, probably only the once in the past. And I know there's the issue with the KH. You've got to make sure.
You've got to have a KH above 5 before you can use it. So that's one thing you do need to check and make sure that your KH is 5 beforehand. But yeah, definitely a good product, mate. To be fair, I had a bit of an issue. It was my pond was up at 12.5 degrees, pushing up to 13. And I were out at the pond, and I've got my new water butt, and I've redone my water butt, which was leaking and cracked in winter. And I thought, right, while I'm doing all this, I'm spending a fair bit of time around the pond, and I'm thinking, well, yes, guys, I'm sorry, I haven't put anything out video content wise because again, I don't want to just keep churning out the same old drivel that has been done time and time again. It's been on my video, it's been on there in the past. People have seen how I've made the little filter system in the past. Perhaps maybe I could have done a little bit of how-to video, but I thought I'd just crack on with getting a few jobs done. So I thought, right, well, I'll start with vacuuming the pond out and getting it all vacked out and getting rid of all the sneaky little leaves that fall through my netting. And in doing so, I disturbed the pond a little bit, but then I also realised that I'd started with a little bit of blanket weed. So I thought, right, I'll get it all vacked out, get all the bulk leaves. I'm saying bulk, these are tiny little ones, but they're just small enough to get through my netting. But there were a cluster of them in and around the lily pots that I've got in the pond. So I thought, I'll get them all vacked up, all cleaned up. The odd little snail that's managed to sneak through, and get all those shells out and give the pond a good spring clean, so to speak. And then I'll make my new filter system. So I got the filter system back up and running again outside and got all that done and sorted. But the following day, all the fish all seemed kind of clamped, not fully clamped up, not tight, but they were all with the pecs close to the body, but none of them moving around that much. And I thought, well, what's going on here? There's something that's not right. Water temperature is warm enough. I put a bit of food in, thinking, see if we can encourage them up. Nothing. That's something not right. Something just not right. I thought, now what do? I've disturbed them yesterday by having vacuum and everything else in. Do I take a fish out and do a scrape? And I thought, no, do you know what? Bollocks to it. So I went straight in with a PP treatment. And then I hit him again the next day, PP treatment. Following day, I just let it run its full course, never neutralized it or anything. And the following day, little water change, clean it filter, boom, straight back in again. Following day, everything up and about swimming, everything perfectly. So I thought, right, I've got 5 new fish to come. One from Mark Oxo at Christmas, who bought a fish on exclusively koi auction. For some reason, he gifted it to me when he went to go pick it up. And I didn't know till quite recently, and I got told that it was there. So I've got one little carcoo to come home from. I then took care of Andy, so that, which is Ryan's dad's, fish for him while he went away to Thailand to go pick up some and order some new stock and pick up some new goldfish for his little business that he runs. Business, hobby. So I'm looking after his, and then next thing you know, he says, well, guys, thanks very much for everything you've done for us. I'd like to get you a bit of something. And I said, don't be daft, it's fine, I don't want out. I'm not bothered. And then Ryan come up to me and said, oh, you can pick one of those fish, or one of those fish, or one of those fish if you want. So I thought, oh, right, nice. Well, years and years ago, I had a Ginring kahaku, and my son bought it me. And I haven't got a Ginring kahaku, so I thought, I'll go for one of the Ginring kahakus, and I'll choose myself one of them. So that's fish number 2. So I have 2 kahakus to come back. Obviously, my wife purchased one on the live a couple of weeks ago. So there's a Sankey to come back. And then I got my Goshki Sankey over in Japan, and there's that one to come back. So that made 4. So I thought, right, well, I've got 4 to come back. And I've never had one, but I really would like one, a Kiyotsuri. So I've purchased myself a Kiyotsuri through work to come back as well. Now, the reason why I'm doing this is one of another reasons to why I had a bit of time off. My dad's lost everything in his pond. Absolutely everything. He's had a bacterial infection that's happened. And obviously with the state that the things are with him as it is, he hasn't really been keeping on top of things as he should, and kind of left it a little bit. He's still one of the old school guys that turns everything off in the winter, and got a little bit of what they call it, cotton wool fungus on his fish, which progressively spread from one fish to another fish to another fish to another fish until he's lost everything. One of his fish, which is over 27 years old, genuinely gutted about it, genuinely upset about it, and we've gone to the trouble of pumping the pond empty and having it up and running again and just cycling, and hopefully, fingers crossed. Well, I'm going to be giving him some of my. This sounds so bad. I'm going to be giving him some of my fish that I'm not that fond of. And I say not that fond of, not that there's anything wrong with them. They're just not. For example, my Benny guy, all his scales are grown back. He's got odd 1 or 2 shimmies on it. My dad ain't going to be bothered about that, so I'm going to give him the Benny guy. I have a shower from my growing show, which is pants, and looks more like it's probably going to become a Shurawatsuri or perhaps maybe a Shuramuji, because it's Benny's dropping off and the Sumi is not the brightest. So, but my dad just wants fish for the enjoyment of keeping them, to feed them and, watching them come up for a bit of food. So I thought, right, I've got a few others. My squash tomato, it's a nice fish. It's not progressing any further, and it's always going to be a squash tomato, which is my Akabeko. So I'm thinking about giving him 3, maybe 4 of my fish and replacing those with the new stock that I've got coming in. But then on top of that, I'm going to purchase my dad some from work, which will be some, fingerlings, 15 cm stuff from work. I'm getting maybe 10 or so as little growing projects, and keep it of 3 or 4 that are 30 plus cm, and then the rest of them for him just to literally enjoy watching them, which will be smaller fish, less maintenance, a little bit easier for him, less of the stuff for him to have to be worrying about with everything that's going on. So 5 to come, a few to go, with a little bit of a gift towards my dad. So not that there's anything wrong in sense, but yeah, that's the process that we've been going on and what's been happening over these last few weeks. So all good fun. Right, the next one is from that koi guy. Has got a question there. Is just topping up a pond from water used in a drum enough of a water change in summer? Well, for me, mate, I do. I boil my homemade filter system. I boil it up, but gyrate it up, bubble it all up, and clean it and drop 900 litres. So all 3 barrels three times, which gives 900 litres. And I do that once a week, and I do that every week, regardless. For the winter months, obviously not as often, just every now and again, maybe once every month, depending how much system's been on or running, depending how cold it's got over here. But through the summer months, so I'm taking out what I would consider about 10% of my pond weekly. So a 10% water change is what I do just from cleaning my filters. Other than that, I don't do any other water changes at all. So
it all depends on the size of the pond in the first place, because if the drum is using 1.5 to 2 litres of water and your pond's 5,000 litres, then yeah, it's adequate. But then if you're up into the realms of a 30,000 litre pond, then it's not.
Yeah. It all depends on the size of your. I mean, everybody knows that koi guy's pond, and if you don't, you just need to get over there to his channel and have a little subscribe to him and help him along, give him a thumbs up and all that kind of malarkey. But he's got a nice pond, a good size drum on his pond. So I would imagine the amount that cycles and runs through would probably be quite a substantial amount of water that he'll be adding and topping back up, to be fair.
Yeah.
What's your literage, Russ? What literage do you think you're replacing with your cycle each time?
See, and Ricky, he would say you're better off knowing the water you put in the pond.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's what he always maintained that, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's always said, better to deal with the water that you've got and get that right than to keep replacing it and replenishing it depending on what your water source is like. So, yeah. Doesn't really answer your question, mate. We need a little bit more info. But when Rick comes back in, we'll double check and run it by him, because I know he is definitely that kind of guy that's always said and has always maintained with, why change your water?
Yeah, well, an example today. So I've been talking to Ricky. He's got some of my fish over there, the Japanese. I ran out of room here to quarantine them properly. So rather than splitting up one box, him having some, me having some, he's done it for me, and they're coming back tomorrow. But he literally, to take out the 50% of the fish, he says, I can't see any of the fish. It's literally going to be a case going like that with a net, taking out your 40 and sending them, or he's actually bringing them over. He's having a night over tomorrow. So that tells you what the state of the water is. But the fish are loving it. And, it is only us that likes to have clean water, not the fish, us.
Now then, green water is better for your fish. We just, like you said, Matt, we just like to see us fish crystal clear. But when you've got green water, it's more difficult to see if you've got any problems going on and something that you may have missed. So, I mean, I can understand people wanting clarity. As long as the parameters are fine, does it really matter if it's green? I don't really suppose it does, to be fair. But...
Well, Rick was on about turning all his ponds black, wasn't he?
Yeah. Dyeing them all so that it was darker, so it attracted more heat and warmed them up more. Yeah, it did. Mark has just joined and has just put in there, good evening all, one and all. Mark, was the little surprise by any chance? Did it have anything to do with these and anything to do with them? The little gift surprise that you left us at work, you said. Because that's the only thing I could find in the little store area, and that was anything different. So I'm guessing it was earplugs and gloves. I don't know. It was, yes. Oh, there you go. Nice one. Thank you, mate. I don't know if the earplugs are going to be much use. It's not really that noisy there, but yeah. God damn, it's been. It's. Do you know what, Matt? I've been quite surprised just how difficult. Not difficult. There's some grafting, moving and shifting fish, mate, isn't there? You know, when you start moving, when you start boxing up, we did a batch of 24 or 27 boxes. We sent it all out for delivery, and you think there's like 2.5 to 3 buckets of water per bag, depending on the size of the fish, obviously. And we were sending out some quite decent sized stuff. And by the time you've shifted all those boxes and you've moved them all, and then you've trundled them all up for courier to pick up, and you've done a fair old workout. You can certainly say that you end up, you know, getting a bit of a sweat on. But then on top of that, you've got anything that might go wrong that you've got to keep on top of. You've got fish health and obviously upkeep to do, which will be filter cleans and etc. I mean, that is one. That's one hell of a task. When you sit to and do your own in your garden, you think, right, I'll get to. I'll crack on. I'll do my filters and give my filters a good clean, and then let's bring you back on. You froze a bit then. I thought you were keeping really still.
Still,
you might have just been keeping still. Sorry. But we got like doing your one system. But when you set 2 and start doing 43 of them, that takes some doing, man. You know, up and down step ladders, taking the filters out, cleaning them all out, getting our ponds ready for a new. We've got a new shipment coming in, so you jet washing them all out and then giving them a good clean down, cleaning all filter systems down, getting new stock in again, so it's all like fresh start job. There's so much stuff to do, and then obviously because you've got salt in the water, you don't want that going in anywhere where it shouldn't do. So that's got to get moved out and pumped out from one area to another, and then just the general day to day. There's a lot more to it than what I thought there would be, and you can see, anywhere like there's that new place that's opening up. That's absolutely chuffing huge. It's got I don't know how many hundred odd ponds of a new place that's opening up, and they're absolutely huge. The amount of maintenance that's going to be on ponds of like that's going to be next level workload. Is that unreal?
That's a big polytunnel as well, isn't it?
Yeah, the one that's in that massive, it's a massive, great big polytunnel, but it's got ponds all down one side and one end, and then ponds all up other side, and it's going to be absolutely huge. So the earplugs are for Ryan, you cheeky get. So you don't have to listen to me. Nice one.
I've been intrigued to see how that works because you know what the temperatures get like in the polytunnels.
Mate, look, I'm not joking you. I feel like I've been abroad, man. This is nuts. The temperatures down there, but look, I've already got a suntan. I'm getting burnt. It's red hot in those polytunnels. I knew it'd be warm. I expected it to be warm, but I didn't expect it to be that hot. And we're only.
I wonder how they're going to cope then, because if it's in a big polytunnel, obviously it's going to get hot in there. It's going to get uncomfortable for the customer.
It's going to get
and also,
there, mate.
Yeah,
and
the temperatures of the ponds are going to be higher than, like, you imagine right now. I've been trying to get my polytunnel ponds down so I can move them out of quarantine to put them into the sheds, but without turning on the air source heat pumps in reverse to chill the water. I can't get it any lower
down. We've been our system's been practically. I'm saying redundant in the sense of not running. It's there, obviously, it's connected, but it's not been going. And I bet it's been about 2 or 3 weeks since the last time. But all the ponds are holding 22, 23, 24 degrees. And you're thinking that's even in the new koi house, which is not a polytunnel, which is done with, the plastic, like the Japanese type of style. Even the ponds in there, those are holding like 21, 22 degrees. That's equally as warm in there as what it is in the polytunnel. And some of those panels on the side are metal. I thought, there's no way that's going to keep as warm in here as what it is there. And I put my hand on it. I thought, Jesus Christ, if you kept your hand on the side of that panel, it'd blister your hand. It gets that hot. So proper good. It's temperature-wise, I'm going to have a right suntan. I mean, I'll see come summertime, I think I'll be walking around in a pair of just shorts alone because in fact, it was that warm. Ryan come back with a massive fan. Come back with this massive fan to put in. He said, if this is what spring's like, summer's going to be nuts. So I've got us a big fan so we can have some cool air blowing through polytunnels in case we need to bring temperatures down in there. Because it was red hot, mate. Absolutely boiling.
It is.
It's lovely though. I'm not complaining. I like it warm, me. So, but yeah, bringing your water temperatures down, mate, is a bit of a. That's why Ryan's doing what he's doing with the new ponds that are outside, so that they can be brought down to ambient temperatures outside by chilling them off, letting naturally just cool down. So yeah.
So you transferring the water from the polytunnel to the outside and then taking the fish out.
Yeah, we're going to have 6 tanks on. I hope you don't mind me saying this. Well, we're going to have 6 tanks on 6 ponds on the outside, with just all they're going to have is like protection over them so that heron can't get anywhere near them. But those ponds will be when we've got stock, like for example the sales pond where all the sole fish are. They'll be. When there's a batch of them, a good lot, a good number of them going out, they'll all be the water from the pond. They'll be netted up, all the fish. The water from the pond will be pumped into it. Then they'll be socked up and put into the pond, and then just allowed to gradually come down and cool down naturally without them having to take, fish. If somebody's not got their ponds at like 15, 16, 17 degrees, but our polytunnels at 22, 24, 25, then it's a way of being able to naturally bring them down. And obviously more space for more stock and stuff as well. But yeah, that's what he's going for. And almost done as well, almost complete. There's been some race stuff done down there, mate.
All my outside ones and the sheds are all running now again at 11. They were at 13. They were at 13 and a half now.
Yeah, mine were 13 and a half last weekend. And back down to 9.5, not last night before when I looked. So it's getting a bit warmed up and then just cooling off on a night. On a night, it's been absolutely dropping off, chuffing cold here. I saw my wife sent me a little bit of a link, and it said 7:30 a.m. scraping ice off the windscreen, 12:30 sunbathing in the garden, 7:30 p.m. central heating on. That's literally what it's been like. It's been proper up, freezing cold in the morning, red up through dinner time, midday, and then freezing cold in the night again. But we've really noticed it dropping off. It's really been coming quite cold. Oh, we got Tony sent me this question. Hi guys, I have a topic I think might be cool to talk about tonight. So I come from a discus tropical fish background before I got into koi, which to be honest was just as big, if not bigger, than the koi scene. There's been a lot of talk about food lately. When I kept discus, I used to make my own high protein food for them, i.e. beef heart mix, and was just wondering, does anyone do anything similar for the koi, and if not, why don't we? So does anybody I know Rick does, doesn't he? The Munga mix, that's his own little spin on a product, so to speak, that he uses himself. He uses a straightforward manufacturer's food, but he adds an element of stuff to it to make it so that it's his own spin to it. But I know there are a lot of other people that use, let's say, for example, Frank from the Koi channel. He has a little bit of a paste that he makes up. which reminds me a lot of paste that they used to use in carp game, which it's like a pliable paste that you can make little pellets, roll them up into balls, and he feeds it to his koi. Very similar to how they do in Japan. A lot of the breeders over there make them and mix them. I think Dainichi do have their own little brand of some recipe stuff that they give them as a paste in a sense. But I don't think there's many people that will do, but I bet there's a lot of people that aren't actually on YouTube in that sense, or that'll have their own little idea of something that they give the fish, or mix up and do. But do you know of anything or anybody that does out similar to that? Or
no, I know what he's talking about with the discus feed.
Yeah,
I used to keep discus, and I'll never do it again. There was a guy in, I think it was London, called Gan Discus, and he was really big.
When the discus spawn, their young feed off the mucous membrane off the parents, don't they? Till they get to a certain size. They eat the parents' mucous membrane on the body.
Yeah.
It's a bit cool.
Yeah, and she sits there fanning the eggs. Well, not sits there, but she just floats fanning the eggs to keep the water circulation. And then they all hatch out, and I think it's after, correct me if I'm wrong, 3 days, they are free swimming, and then they move on over to the body of the fish.
Did I miss another question? Let's double check, make sure I didn't. I found Costia in long block tank today. That's what I was wondering, Vince. I was wondering if it was Costia in my pond, because they weren't really that much flicking and flashing like they seem to do whenever they've got flukes. I was wondering if it would perhaps maybe a bit of Costia. But when I was saying earlier that I'm getting the new fish, when I introduce my new fish, they're going to be getting a little bit of a Alprex tonic dose with the new fish when they go in. They're going to turn me pond green.
And Costia is really weird how you can pull it up on a slide and you can almost travel around 3/4 of the slide and not find any Costia. And then you go into the bottom right-hand corner and wow, there it is.
There's a gang of them.
Yeah, it's just nuts.
Yeah.
But a good example, so I had a call out, I think it was 2 days ago in Weymouth. And basically I pulled out 3-4 of the fish and I found absolutely nothing on them at all. And he said, one fish that is playing up is the chag. And I said, that's fine. Let's get the chag out and do a scrape on that. Pulled out the chag and wow, it had flukes like you would not believe. Like literally anywhere you went on the slide, there was 4 or 5 of them on there.
Yeah.
He said, well, what's caused that? And I said, well, stress is one of the biggest ones. If the fish is ill just through natural causes or it's been under any stress, they seem to latch onto it.
Yeah, everybody seems to have one fish, don't they, in the pond? That's that one that always seems to be the one that has the problem. And it's either, well, for me, the problem fish that I've got, and it's not so much that the fish itself is a problem. It got damaged by one of my other fish ramming into it, and it's damaged its swim bladder. So when it swims around, it can swim around perfectly fine, and it can come up, but it's always done with the momentum of the power of its tail. So when it's feeding, its tail's giving it this to come up and get something from surface, and then it comes up and then it drops down, but then it slowly just sinks back to the bottom. But it's because it always seems to be on the bottom and resting more. It always seems to be the one that always starts to flashing off first. Yeah. Which is a bit of
with this one in particular, I said about the stress, and he said, well, that's weird. And I said, why? And he said, well, I left my net on the side of the pond, and his dog, he thinks, had knocked the net over the pond. It dropped down and caught the chag in the net, stuck on the bottom. That was stress. Was that the cause of it?
Stress is a bad one for fish, mate, isn't it? It's you can have everything looking perfectly fine. I'll give you an example today. We had to net some fish, went in with a net, took a fish out, had a quick check over it, popped it back in. But for the remainder of that day, those fish stayed in the far corner of the pond. And it's because they've got a little bit of an area over the top where the filter system stands. They're out of sight, out of view. But for the whole day, even when I left this evening, when I went and I put a little bit of food in, they fed and they ate the food. But the minute I walked back into the polytunnel, they all just scuppered off back into that corner. So when they're not so comfortable with being netted and taken out, they quite quickly seem to be easily stressed. And when they get stressed, they just want to hide away from everything and say, stick to a far corner and in ponds. And when you're going in there, to take out fish that might be going out for a delivery and what have you, you can see how the disturbance of them can upset them somewhat. And stress, like you say, brings on, you can get white spot from stress. Cooling temperatures of water, water top-ups and such can bring on stress, bringing on ick, white spot, whatever you want to call it. So there's a few things that can be issues for your fish when you're using them or when they're going through problems like that. But Costia is a bad one. And Costia is also one that can live underneath the scale, isn't it? It doesn't necessarily have to be on the outside of the body. It can get under the scale as well and be more difficult to get to when treating.
Yeah, definitely. No. But that's why I don't understand why we don't use Alphax more often.
Well, I've got a bottle of it now, mate. My go-to, I've got 3 now. I've got a fluke treatment, I've got PP, and I've got Alprex, and those are my 3 go-tos. And I think I will remain and stick with those. The difference it made by PP my fish and watching them all literally within a 24-hour period, gone from being completely sulky on bottom of the pond to being up, active, swimming around and actively feeding. And when I've come out this evening, because this was only I guess the day before that. So yeah, 3 days ago, that this evening when I've come home, they've come straight rushing up to the side of the pond wanting to be fed. The difference from them not just being cock on and sulky a little bit on the bottom to now being actively searching for food and looking for food. It wasn't that there was nothing wrong with the water parameters at all. I checked everything to make sure they were okay, everything were okay. It was just something that were bothering them, so they got a little bit of a purple rinse, and it's perked them up lovely. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we start this season off onto a clean slate without any parasite issues. And if it works out like that, it might be something I start my season off with every year. Hopefully we don't have to keep giving them any more for the rest of it. But yeah, we'll have a word with Rick as well, Tony, when he comes on about the topic that you brought up there with wondering if anybody else does anything similar with preparing or making or using their own forms of food or feed. What are you feeding?
I don't think anybody would actually make a whole food.
No.
Because there's too many ingredients and too many parts that you could get wrong, for one. But there is too many ingredients. I think you would always have to use the baseline of somebody's food and add something like the Munger mix.
Question there from Sarah, the novice koi keepers, put, when using PP, I'll bring it up so I can see it. When using PP, what is the instrument do you use to measure the PP levels in your pond? I believe it's called,
Yeah.
Altmeter, is it?
Altmeter.
An altmeter. But personally, I don't. I know what my pond's capable and I know what my fish are good with doing, provided there's not a big organic load in it. I'm not in there really trying to nail the hell out of them or giving them super strong doses. I'm just giving them what I know they are comfortable and safe with. But yes, there is an instrument to tell you what the levels are, because sometimes if you've got a high organic load in your pond, it can be what everybody considers spent and turn brown very quickly. But PP doesn't stop working when it goes brown. It still continues to work right through.
That's the bit I can never work out with PP is if you've got a natural pond with a bog area and you've got plants in there, etc., that PP is going to work totally different to a pristine, drum-fed, bottom drain koi pond.
Yeah.
How can you have a Kumbalos statement of using 6.8 grams per 4,546 litres of water? Because every pond is totally different.
Yeah.
Do I keep freezing, Gaz?
Yeah, well, your voice is there, but your camera's freezing. Yeah, you are. You can hear you, but you're actually like that at the moment.
Am I?
Yeah, with your vape to your mouth. I'll remove you and bring you back in again. See if I'll. There you go. There you go. So there you go. Yeah, it's not the actual right to now. Obviously, there's been a few people out there in the past, and I'm not going to mention names because that's not fair, but they've already put the content out themselves to explain what they've done or how they went wrong. But it is an alt meter. An alt meter is what will give you your true reading of what you're actually got in your pond. If you needed to add to get it back up to a certain amount, then obviously you've got your reading there. Then that tells you how, what, where, and when.
So, Gaz, when would you use PP as opposed to Avrex?
Oh, sorry, brought wrong one. I was meant to turn that one off and comments moved. When would I use PP as opposed to Alprex? Well, as of yet, mate, I've not used my bottle of Alprex. Is literally brand spanking new. It's not been opened. I gave mine a PP bath, mate, just because the way that they're acting was very similar to how they were acting last year when I got flukes. So I thought, they're coming out of winter into spring, and if I was going through with them, and now it's starting to warm up a little bit, and they're all acting in the same manner, then I'm just going to go. It's probably not the right way. Yes, I should have probably gone with a scrape, a check, and make sure. But the only reason why I didn't do is because I'd been in with the vacuum cleaner and I'd been messing around in the pond and I'd been moving pumps and pond, I just didn't want to be putting them through more stress than what's necessary. And me hitting them with a PP was a case of I reacted to how my fish was behaving, which we all know how our fish behave because we all watch them and monitor them regular ourselves. So to be honest, Matt, with the Alprex, I'm yet to have that information shared and given, which is something I should have done a scrape first. Yeah, should have, could have, didn't. Philip, you can say about what you would do with your pond, and I can do what I want with my pond. I actually did what I did with my pond, and guess what? Everything's bang on. My fish, I've come through it perfect, and not only have they come through it perfect, all the problems that they was having have subsided. So, yes, ideally I should have done. I agree. But if I hadn't already been in there stressing them out, vacuuming the pond out and doing maintenance to the pond and changing stuff and moving stuff around a lot in there, I would have done. But I didn't really want to be taking fish out that were already stressed to scrape them and stress them even more, because that in its sense is only going to bring on more problems. So that's the only reason why I didn't fill it.
So the only reason I'm saying it is that on one of my tanks, I was dropping the temperature, and that was with a heat source pump in reverse, dropping the temperature down to put them into the cells tanks. And the day before I was due to move them, looked at the fish, weren't happy, pulled out a fish, did a scrape, Costia, absolutely riddled in Costia. But all the way through when temperatures were high, no sign of Costia whatsoever. So then
now you'd think that'd be the opposite, wouldn't you? While the temperatures were high, you'd think they'd be going like crazy, and the numbers would be
either that or the temperature of the fish, the immune levels of the fish would have been at the maximum, 22, 24. So it wasn't showing any ill effect. But even when I'd done the scrapes previously, like on the QT, I'm down there doing every 3 to 4 days doing a scrape on them, make sure they're okay.
Yeah, I do know when we've been having fish that we've been, bringing through sleeping coys, when they've been going through that and you're ramping them up and you're bringing them up in temperature and you're bringing your salt up, when you've got them and they're starting to settle out and they're starting to look good again and everything's kind of like chilled out and everybody's acting normal again, there's been a bit of a water change, and then we've added, brought the salt level back down to 0.3. Then Alprex has been added as a bit of a tonic to perk them up a little bit after they've come through from sleeping coys. So I've seen it used, but yet for me personally, as of yet,
they had the Costia, and I treated about 7 o'clock at night, and I could identify the fish that I checked the night before that had the Costia. Checked it in the morning, totally with 3 scrapes on that one fish, no Costia, gone. So I don't know why we don't use it more often. It's less risk, because PP for somebody that hasn't used it before, it's dodgy.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I mean, I've never up until getting in touch with Ryan, prior to me even going down there, Japan and everything else and all the rest of it, which seems like a distant memory now. But I was quite fearful of PP. But now, I'm now seeing what I've seen in my own pond and doing it, I'm not at all anymore. I'm very comfortable with it, to the point where the first time I used it, I never left the side of the pond, and I sat there all day long, and I sat there for nearly 16 hours outside the garden. Now this time, obviously, I didn't leave the garden, but this time when I've done it, I carried on doing a bit of gardening, and I carried on doing a little bit around the jobs that I needed to do, and continued to work. I still stayed with the fish, I never left them, but I didn't keep that on the pond like I was doing. I was a lot more relaxed, a lot more comfortable with it. But I know that you can solve a lot of problems with PP other than just parasites. You can make your water quality better by PPing it. Reduces the organic load.
Jumping on this one, Rick. Why do people not use Alprex as much as what you would expect when it treats everything but the flukes?
Good question. There's just a mix of malachite and acroflavin,
which is a good, as we've said before, it's a good for a tonic for your fish, isn't it? If they're a bit under weather, so to speak.
Yeah, I don't know. To be fair, I've never really used Alprex, but I've used malachite and acroflavin, and neither of them touch Costia. So how it works together, who knows?
Together it does, but separate.
I don't know. I mean, if it.
No, massive. It says that it's for Costia, Chilidanilla, and Trichodina, doesn't it? On the box.
All sorts of things. I think at the end of the day, if you've got a problem and you can use a microscope and find it and use a treatment, and to be fair, we always use formalin for Costia. That's just standard. And within 12 hours, there is no more Costia. But you've got to use it at the right dose to get that effect.
Yeah.
So,
And is that the dose? Is that the dose that's on the packet?
It depends on what brand. The problem is how you buy it and what strength it is will depend on what it says on the packet. So, we buy it in a 40% solution normally. Most packets are 36, 38%. It varies. If you've got a microscope, the thing to do is scrape, check, use the dose it suggests, check again. If it doesn't work, speak to but at the end of the day, everyone's there to help. I mean, in your setup where you've got brand new systems and it is just fish and filters, it's all pretty clean. treatments work differently. So when you've got a big organic pond with all sorts of different loadings, different water volumes, temperatures, everything else. So if something works, I don't know what's in Alperex. As far as I'm aware, the only 2 active ingredients are malachite and acroflavin.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what it says on box. I'm pretty sure it does.
So, yeah, if you use either one of those treatments, you wouldn't expect it to be taken out cost you. But if it works as a combined thing, it does, doesn't it? That's just one of them things that a lot of treatments work quite well when they're combined. Malachite formalin's been something that's been sold pre-mixed for as long as I can.
G?
Malachite formalin.
Is that the same? Yeah.
Yeah, formalin green.
Susan asked there, Gaz, does PP kill your beneficial bacteria? It doesn't. Well, it knocks your filter back a little bit. It does. But all I've done is afterwards is I've just added a bit of beneficial bacteria, which was the, what do they call it? Bacto Plus. I've just added some of that in again and just boosted it back up again. So it does knock it back a bit, Susan, yeah. It's a bleaching agent, isn't it? So...
Yeah, again, it's a strength in it with how strong it's used, what type of filter you've got. If you've got a filter that's maybe like ours, that's so full of organic matter and whatever, it probably doesn't touch it. But if you've got quite a clean system with a drum and everything's, a moving bed, it will probably have more of an impact.
Yeah.
But Matt's obviously got his good link up again, and he's freezing every now and again. Simon there says, in my opinion, PP kills all bacteria, good and bad. No, it doesn't. But yeah, that's the problem. It does, but not necessarily in the way. How you want it to.
Not how you'd want it. If you've got a bad bacterial infection in your pond or whatever, and you thought, right, if I bang PP in, it ain't going to kill it. It ain't going to get rid of it.
Not about killing. That's the problem. You got to kill the fish, but something that's internal with the fish or deep seated in the mucus layer and whatever, the PP is never going to get to it.
Yeah, but one thing PP definitely does do is it does knock back the mucus membrane on your fish, leaving them. I think it takes up to about 4 to 6 weeks for the mucous membrane to come back and get back to its normal condition. A lot of excessive use is not good for the fish's gills, so it's not something that should be used again and again and again and again and again. It's, but I mean, you've got chloramine T as well, which is a good treatment and can be used for certain ailments. But again, that's a bleaching agent, but that's a bleaching agent, but that does definitely knock your filters back as well.
Yeah, and it leaves the fish vulnerable thereafter. So it's one of those, again, in the right circumstance, it works really well, but it doesn't suit all ponds equally.
Yeah, well, but that's why in question the Columbia Alphax to the PP.
I'm just going to bring you off and back in again, Matt.
He disappeared. He came back.
I'm going to reboot in a minute.
Yeah.
You can have a quick run in the way.
You move, but you just did that, and now you froze again.
No, I'm not moving.
Well, you might have, but you're not on stage froze.
I've just got a blank screen for him.
Yeah. Have you got a blank screen again?
Yeah, I can't even see him.
This is what happened last week. Well, I still see him there, but holding his chin.
Yeah, it's a good job that I'm holding my chin and nothing else.
Yeah, well, yeah, definitely is. Did you have a nice holiday then, Rick? Did you enjoy your time away?
I have, mate. It's been since Japan. It's just been mental, isn't it? I don't know.
Yeah, you've been busy, mate, haven't you?
So yeah, back into work today to catch up because Cole's now away. So we're crossing paths for a matter of hours to get the lowdown of what's occurring. So, yeah, back at it. There you go. I can see him again.
Alan says I cannot send any messages on YouTube because I'm not able to get access. Oh,
Yeah, this popped up the other day that people that had been on there for, I think it was 5 months or longer, couldn't comment.
well, that's what happens. The reason for it, mate, is there's people that like to subscribe and unsubscribe and do regular. Well, if you unsubscribe and you resubscribe, then you're going to lose your position. It's subscribers. It's just try to encourage people to subscribe along and be a part of, this as a regular basis, and not just to subscribe for the evening and then unsubscribe again. I don't really see the point in it. But yeah,
why do they call it subscribe as well? Because in my head, being an old one, I think subscribe. And when I first saw it, I was like, I ain't paying to watch that.
But you see, that's what I think. There's a lot of reasons why people do it as well, mate. Is purely on those reasons where they think, I can't do anything, I can't do this, I can't do the other, or I can't connect for this reason or for that reason. I'm not going to pay to watch that. It's all free. Everything's free. It costs you nothing. To leave a thumbs up, to leave a like. All it does is when people subscribe and unsubscribe, is it knacks up a channel's algorithm, and then it ends up with that channel going on a downward spiral towards being more difficult for them to stay within the algorithm to share the videos out. More people that are subscribed, the videos then pushed out to you as a subscriber first before they put it out to the wider audience, depending on how your subscribers react. Let's say, for example, I put out a video and all my subscribers think, well, that was brilliant, and they all watch. Then the more you engage, the more YouTube thinks, well, that did really well. His subscribers really liked it. So we'll push that out to a wider audience, and we'll see if we can encourage more people to come to this channel. And a lot of people just subscribe, unsubscribe, subscribe, unsubscribe, subscribe, unsubscribe, and then it knacks up your algorithm. So YouTube thinks, well, this channel's getting a lot of rises and falls and pitfalls. We'll invest more time with somebody else. And then Bob's your uncle. So as a subscriber, you get the notification sent out to you first, primarily, before everybody else. As a non-subscriber, then you just find it when you find it. So the encouragement.
Old school, I think everyone I've ever subscribed to is still on the list. It's just
I know. I mean, there has been channels that I've unsubscribed to, but not within the koi community. I've unsubscribed from ones that I used to watch on boat buildings and stuff like that. Ones that I no longer watch because they've come to the end of what they were doing, and now they've gone into doing an house up or something else. I don't bother watching it anymore because I'm not interested in that particular thing that they're doing. But I can understand people subscribing and unsubscribing. I get it. I get it daily. I get people that unsubscribe and subscribe every day of a fucking week. That's the joy of being on YouTube, isn't it? But sorry, Alan, I have no idea as to why you can't, unless you've only just subscribed and you haven't subscribed within the last 5 days. That would be the reason.
How's he got a message to you if he can't send a message to you?
He sent me one on Facebook, but I've got his pictures of his fish that he sent me anyway to share and have a look at. We've got the Karashi guys to be looking at this evening, mate. Cheeky monkeys. The chance to display some of your cheeky monkeys. I hope Mark moves quicker in the bedroom than this life is almost permanently frozen.
Who said that?
Peter F.
Oh.
Right, let's see. I think we did have a couple of topics to have a natter and a chat about, so we'll see. I'm pretty sure that some people posted. Let's see if we can bring them up and have a quick discussion of them. Karen Stevens says, question, this went into my pond on the 30th looking like this. And the next photo is her now. Will the sumi fade or is she done for? Let's have a, so you can.
She's not done
I will bring, share the screen. And we're going to have a look. Right. This is what it went in on the 30th of July last year, looking like this.
See, if you freeze it there, Gaz. Hang on. See, we can already see the sumi coming through behind the right-hand gill plate.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But not to the extent of the next photo.
Have you seen it? You seen the other one?
Yeah, it's my fish.
All right. Oh, there we go.
Oh, it's absolute junk, man.
Let's bring up the other one.
I've not seen the other picture yet.
And now to that.
You wouldn't believe it, would you?
Yeah.
But he's never going to go back, is it?
What,
Well,
the sumi?
Sumi? No.
Probably not. It's going to be very heavy to do sometimes, isn't it? Still, it's quite cool. Can't really see what the other side's like from the picture, but that's the trouble, isn't it? It's a black fish. It's like a common, isn't it? The black can come shitloads. It can come where you expect it. Sometimes it doesn't pop up at all when it's, that's an extreme case, but
What is this saying? It's something to do with is it something like count on the Benny or something on the Sumi? It's one of the two.
Yeah, it's old saying that sumi grows, and but it depends on variety. Blood, there's so many variants to it.
My answer to it, Rick, was what you need to do is come and buy another 10 fish, and you might find one that would be good in a year's time.
It could also depend on the KH in your pond. Sumi is affected by your water as well, isn't it?
Am I right in there?
A lot of things.
Harder water and softer waters. Some people can buy a fish, and like Lee Hadfield, for example, he can buy a goshke and it'd be quite dark when he gets it. And when he gets it back home and gets it to his pond, then he ends up with the sumi all dropping off. So you get a little bit. And Richard Carpenter just sent me a video there. Look, that's going to be.
I walked into the fish house today and took this video. So, if you wanted to crash a guy, you have to pick one. I don't know.
Yeah, right. We'll pick one out of that lot, out of that batch. But yeah, I mean, I guess you could. You could try. Is it between 7 and 9 KH? You'll end up bringing more sumi up. So if you could get your KH lower, you should.
It is. I think
it loses some of its sumi.
I think we spoke about this today, and I think his KH was 4.
Oh shit! So it's not that high already, is it then?
It's genetics, isn't it? You've got a blueprint what it's going to do. Yes, you can use different foods, different temperatures, different things to make it happen quicker. But at the end of the day, chances are that fish in that pond is going to stay like that now. Potentially even get more sumi coming up. Might be something completely different. I mean, that's the joy of those sumi varieties. The joy of them is they do change a bit. So, yeah, don't buy one that looks too amazing too little, because the chance of it looking amazing when it gets bigger
is going to be slim to none. Yeah.
When you want
to pick a fish to develop, not already developed, or you could end up with like that. I see, but I did that. That's how I picked my show a grow and show fish. I picked it with what I could see underlying sumi, with a nice 3-step kahaku Benny pattern. Now the Benny started to fade, and the sumi's never come. It's real washy. It's crap.
But that again comes down to environment, food, genetic. There's so many points to it.
It'll make a lot of Shuramuji if it continues to do what it's doing.
But then, if the red depends if the red's thin or falling off. 2 different things.
It looks thin. It doesn't look like it's falling off. It looks real kind of translucent. You know what I mean? Like it's really not vibrant. It's not deep in the scale. It's thin.
Just, yeah. But you might also find, as the sumi does come back, maybe in 2 years' time, that the benny thickens up because it's got the undercut.
That's
underneath it.
Yeah, that's what this one. It's one that I'm going to give to my dad because he still gets another chance. Obviously, my dad gets a fish, but hopefully it might with a little bit. My dad tends to. He don't really. He's not all that bothered about his water being crystal clear, and he'll be more happy if, so you get a bit of green water, might have a bit more of a chance of developing a little bit more and seeing what that does for it.
Well, again, that's sort of perfect, isn't it? You hear stories from koi keepers.
Yeah, that's say when
they've had fish for years, it does nothing to give it to their mate. It completely
blossoms. Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah.
Grave Digger says Matt is using a screensaver so he can eat and drink his rum. You got a screensaver going, Matt, apparently, in the background.
You need to get a Wi-Fi booster.
But that's pretty good, that Grave Digger.
We had a better signal than this in Japan, didn't we?
You did, mate. You did.
Technology, eh?
Someone's removed the hand from the puppet but carried on talking.
Thanks.
Yeah, so it looks more like it might. Oh, about do we just get another one in from the other side, the other angle? I just posted another one there.
Cool. Well, Pete's put another one on. He's working quick tonight. It's taking
can hear us. Can hear him.
Oh my God, that's nice. Being a fountain winner. Jesus Christ. Rick Howarth. Mate, that's stunning. But we'll get to them later on. Just double checking. Let me just see if we've. Tell Rick the other side is as purchased. The KH is around 4. There you go. The other side's as purchased. It's just that one particular side that's filled in as much as it has.
That's purchased. I like that.
I suppose they become what they become, don't they?
How many times you get asked, Rick, what's that fish going to do? What's it going to look like in 6 months? And I've now given up answering that question. It's like,
well, I think the way, personally, I think the way to answer it is if the sumi develops as what we can see underlying, because it's not a case of when, it's if, innit? But I suppose it all depends what type of fish you're actually talking about in the first place. Okay. But hang about, this is why I'll show you all why he's frozen. So we don't all get to see what he is actually doing, which is sitting there with a goddamn banquet. Look at it. He says, this is prepared. This is prepared and ready for tonight. The rum is coming, but this is what he's eating. That's why he's frozen, folks. He's literally going through all that lot. He's just put his own personal little screensaver up so he just can keep nailing the hell out of all that.
Well, the paella's gone and the olive Italian whatever, that thing is being eaten now.
Told you, Greg Douglas. Well, there you go. The paella's gone. So the paella's gone and the what?
And I'm on to the...
Now you're on to the 14 selection.
I just see like I thought I eat tomorrow.
Do I eat well, Rick, or do I eat well?
There's always plenty of food when I come round. I don't know how much you eat. I tend to eat most of it. So it's Crash Your Goy Challenge tonight, is it? I've been away, mate. I'll see. I'm sending you another one now.
You're sending me another one? Right. Nice one.
Well, there's a funny thing about this one. Apparently it's yours.
This one's mine.
It's the one that Marcus grew on for you from me. He took one at that event to grow on for you.
God damn. That's put some size on it.
So you can't vote for it. He sent me a video earlier of it. So he must have known it was a crash.
So this is your first video that you shared with us. So this is what we're going to pick a Karashi guy out of.
I don't know. It was just I walked into one of the tunnels today.
Look at that! I love watching him do that. We're all going absolutely nuts.
Frame by frame, yeah.
Yeah. Little pixelated, mate. I could hear a hamster in the background. It was Matt all the time. Pick one out. There.
There's one.
Banger.
Why does that come through to you like that then?
One. It's just downgrades, doesn't it? That's all it does. It just downgrades it. Depends what you filmed it in. God damn, that has grown. Look at the gin on it and all.
Gin's not. Oh, I didn't watch that bit. It jumped out. I didn't watch that.
It jumped out of the basket.
I don't know if it's got a sumi spot on its head or it's like a little bit of sumi on its head.
The thing with Karashi guys and Chag guys, if they take a little bit of a knock, then they can end up getting a bit of a darker spot, can't they? A bit of a darker mark on it. Good evening.
Good evening.
You just wearing a body warmer. It's not even that cold, is it?
It is, yeah, temperature's dropped, isn't it?
It is for the old ones, right?
Yeah.
Was for me getting off the plane this morning at 3 degrees.
Yeah, man.
It is dropping though. It's dropping every night, isn't it? I think it is. You see, Crafty's come on now because he's seen the banquet of food, Matt. So you better start sharing, mate.
Mate, I've only just got in from work, man.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you get stuck in all traffic, man? Do you come up A1?
No, M1 I use, mate.
M1. God damn, A1 were bad tonight. Absolutely chocker.
It's good to see Matt's got his Wi-Fi sorted.
Not.
You think the amount of business he does online, he'd have a decent connection?
Oh, shut up.
Well, I don't know what mine's been like tonight. Has anybody noticed? Has mine been freezing or pausing at all, or been any problems around? Because I've just gone to fourth utility. I've just changed mine to get a new internet because Virgin Media, been with them for 17 years, and it's been. Don't get me wrong, it's been bob on. It's only ever gone off once or twice. That's it. But the price that they want, we were on 57 quid a month. That was for phone, telephone, TV, and internet. And it's gone from 57 quid a month to 127 quid a month. So I've said, kiss me butt. You can do one. We're not paying that. And now I've managed to get a gig internet for 27 quid a month. Massive saving, man. Absolutely massive saving. But it's very new. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it's still got to find its balance. It's still got to settle in, so to speak. We've got to find out just how well it runs.
Yeah, we were fibre optic here with Virgin, and it was bang on. And it went from 27, and it just went up and up and up to like £100 a month. And we were like, nah. So we got back on Sky, which was cheaper. But as you can see, I'm probably a bit blockier. That's pretty why I just come through like that.
And I'm going to reboot, so if I do lose you, I'll be back.
All right then.
You won't let
Yeah, tis Susan. That is a massive serving. The Aragoki Koi. Gaz, have you collected that Ginrin Shuro from New Forest Koi yet? It sat there teasing us all for months.
It's not his.
No, it's Matt's.
No, the Shiro's not. None of yours. The African Kyoto was Matt's.
Oh,
We don't want it back just yet.
no.
I
wish it would. It sounds obviously. It sounds like a good one. No, it's not mine, mate. Anyway, to be collecting, I've definitely got way more than. Well, no. If I'm going to be totally honest, when I'm saying I've got more than what I really need, I probably will have, still have. But I'm gifting my dad my first fish that I really put into the pond. There might even be a Becco that goes, but he has gone for a reboot. But I'm doing it as the best way possible. I'm not palming my fish off with problems.
Yeah, you are.
Well, I am.
Better ones.
I am. If truth be told, I'm palming them off to my dad, but my dad ain't got none.
Right, guys. Let me tell people what you're doing. Right, so you've gone through a cycle in that most people do in their koi keeping career.
Fish. Oh shit.
And basically, you pick the koi that you like at the time. They haven't done what you want. Your taste has changed somewhat. You now got access to some better koi.
Yeah.
Right, so you're getting rid of the ones you don't want to someone that's going to appreciate them. To make
Exactly.
space into your pond, to put new stock in because your eyes changed, your taste has changed.
Yeah.
Everyone does it, mate.
Yeah, but at least this. In the sense, they're still staying in the family, so I'll still be able to see them and still be able to tell on whether or not if
you won't want to see them.
You're not going to do what Vince does, are you? Because when one does turn good after a year or two, you have it back out. I'll have that one back.
You could. It could be a case of. Could be a case of I get the chance, the opportunity to be able to see them all and watch them further develop.
I've got a better idea. Why don't you fill your dad's pond with fish that you like as well?
Well, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get him some little grow-on ones as well, so he can appreciate some nice stuff, but not make it too much for him by having too many. Basically, he got the remaining fish that he had in his pond that are probably some of them were over 27-year-old. But then he lost a fair few when somebody dropped some cement into the pond. So when they dropped the cement into the pond, that meant that a lot of them died off. So he replaced them all and bought himself, because he quite likes goldfish because they breed easier. So he bought himself a whole load of shabubkins. And putting the shabubkins in, he probably pushed himself beyond what he really should have had in pond. And then he got a bit of a bacterial infection. Well, is it a class as a bacterial cotton wool fungus? So the cotton wool fungus, because it was like at 4 and 5 degrees, his pond, couldn't treat with nothing because it didn't work. It didn't do anything. So he ended up losing them. And then one more and one more and one more. But it all started when the heron attacked his pond. It managed to grab hold of 2 or 3 of the fish, give them a good chewing on through the netting, but couldn't get them out, damaged them, then fungus set in, and then the next thing, all of them have fucking died. With the fact that he hasn't been maintaining it, looking after it, and doing everything else with it. So it all had to be.
Well, that's the main reason for cotton wool fungus anyway, mate. So.
Yeah. Injury or water quality. But it is what it is.
Yeah, well, you got somewhere to rehome your fish then, haven't you? Perfect.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, I still get to see how they develop or whether or not they become more. Oh, again, goddamn, that's another. Well, that could possibly be a winner as well. Shit, mate, that is still a nice fish. That's a very nice fish, that crafter, isn't it? Well, we could. What time we're on? 10 past. We could do a little bit of koi appreciation and get straight in on it. Let's see if we can bring up the ones that were posted in the group last week, first of all, and then we'll bring up the others.
How was your trip to Thailand, Rick?
Brilliant. I didn't go to Thailand, so it didn't matter.
Someone told me you'd gone to Thailand. Where did you go?
Cambodia, next door.
Oh, okay. Was you
move
working over there?
With
You know what?
Working or holiday?
yes,
I don't know. Just literally, we did 4 days in 4 different sort of regions. Keep it moving up around the temples of Angkor Wat, down in the islands in the Bay of Thailand or whatever it is, down that way. Yeah, good. It's nice. It's like Thailand was 20 years ago.
Did you go to the killing fields?
No, we went to one of the killing museums. Mate, I was halfway around. I took Ez out and sat out. And I said, "No, man, that's enough." So I carried on. It just breaks your heart. It's just bonkers. 2 million of their own people because they were intelligent and it's just blows your mind. Too much for Ez. So
yeah, it's a lot for a kid to take on board, isn't it?
yeah, because when he starts reading about it and whatever, and it's an old school, and there's the 12,000 people, no, 18,000 people that went in there. 12 came out alive.
Is it Rich that's frozen now?
Is it what?
No, he's moving. Everybody's moving.
That's weird.
It's supposed
So-
to glitch again, but
Yeah, so you were like moving, Crafty was moving, Rich was frozen, and I was moving.
You can't cope with the feeds.
it's your.
The problem is here, we've got one services, and that's the electric. Everything else is off grid.
There you go.
Wonder if I could buy some more internet, you tight fuck.
Literally, my internet is that.
Space, that's mint.
What you hotspotting off your phone?
I have to. Because the cable down here, we were getting literally nothing. So then BP.
There's no wonder. So you're hotspotting off your mobile phone to your laptop?
I'm not actually doing it off that one. I got one upstairs, but it's exactly the same as another mobile just sat up there, connected up to all the.
That's part of your problem. It needs to be downstairs.
I'm going to say it'd
Got
be
no
slightly
signal
better
downstairs.
if you got
No,
into
it
the
needs to be
same-
upstairs. Needs to be upstairs because it's highest place to get the signal.
Oh my god!
We're in the valley.
Got a couple of yogurt pots and some string if you want to use that.
It's like the Valley of the Kings down here.
Get a bigger.
Mark
bigger pile.
says plenty. Actually, I missed your comment earlier on, mate, where you actually said. Mark actually turned around and said he got his first ammonia reading. I finally got an ammonia reading after 21 years, Gaz. I think it's time to stop buying koi. Yeah, maybe, mate. But that's you've added a fair few, mate, to be able to get to that point. So you're pretty. That's it.
You've got a
Padded
couple
room
of
from now on
points.
in. Oh, I missed this one as well. Paul. I don't think I could even consider myself. As you now a full-time professional, I'm now working full-time within the industry, not a professional, mate. Do you feel that your knowledge, stroke, understanding, and confidence improved more quickly than you thought possible? My knowledge has improved. I can certainly see things and identify them a lot quicker now than what I probably would have done. Yes. My knowledge has improved. My confidence, yes, definitely, for some things or some elements. But I see it as only the very tip of the iceberg, mate. And there's so much more to learn and so much. But being alongside somebody like Andy, and there's things that I can learn from Andy, being alongside Ryan, going through fish and grading through him and going for, obviously again with Kev. I mean, Kev's got some wicked moves when he's using his camera. Those dance moves, they'll help for the rest of my life for stuff like. They've got a little dance that he does when he's doing photos, man. It's funny as shit. But
You need to get that.
he knows I'm on it. I've got to try and get it on video. I've got to try and get it on video. But it's all in the hips when you're doing the video recording. Obviously, when you got the fish in the bowl, you don't want to be moving your camera because then it looks jiggity and like he's jerking around. And he took a little mick bit and did a little bit of a dance to show us. But yeah, I definitely would say that my knowledge is improving, mate, 100%. Understanding and confidence, definitely. But there's still a hell of a lot more to learn. I don't think you can ever really stop learning in the industry. There's so much things that change, breed types, different techniques that are evolving, so to speak. So yeah, but still got a long way to go before I could even pass myself as a professional. But yeah, enjoying it, mate. Enjoying it. Tell you what is hard work though. The temperature wise inside a polytunnel, when you start getting a big job going and you think, fucking hell, it's hot in here. And we've not even got to the warm time of the year yet. But that's been a bit of a shock for me to think, Jesus Christ, it's proper warm in here. Can see why. I hope it's just as nice come the winter months. So you've still got that little bit of warmth to it instead of being outside like we're in building trade, freezing my freaking ass off all day long. So fingers crossed it stays as is.
You'll be right in there because they're all heated as well, aren't they? Well, the ponds are heated.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. But that's I tell you the one thing that drives me mad. In the morning when I go in, first thing, if it's a cooler morning and I walk in, my glasses steam up and I can't see nothing. So I take my glasses off to do whatever I'm doing, and then I put them back on when I go outside, and the instantly fog disappears. But then you go until you kind of like, it's the same with like getting your camera out. If you want to take a picture or do any filming or whatever, your camera might be stored in an office in a bag or, in a camera bag or whatever. You bring it out into an environment like perhaps maybe Crafty gets it same on shop floor, colder on the shop floor, and the camera lens just instantly steams up. And you've got to leave the camera there for it to acclimatize, so to speak, before you can make use of it. So
acclimatize your camera.
Acclimatize the camera, yeah. I'll leave it to float on pond for an hour. But yeah.
You never stop learning, mate. If you stop learning, it'll be boring, won't it?
Well, yeah, and that's it, mate. That's the bit. More than anything, I want to learn more of the breeders so that I can get to recognize the fish by looking at them. And I know that sounds silly, but I know Ryan can. He can show him any fish, and he knows exactly which it is. To be able to get to that level is something I want to aspire to, because I can literally show him a fish and he'll go, that's so and so is purchased on so and so from so and so, and he literally, it doesn't matter what it is, he just reels it off. He knows exactly who's it for, where it's gone, who it's going to, and where he got it from. And that's a skill. But yeah, if I can get half as good as him and half as good as his dad, I'll be happy. And half as good as as Kev, because they've all got a lot of knowledge. But there's a good bit of banter and a good bit of laughs and a good giggle. But at present, we're also trying to get everything done down there, so it's all finished and completed to make things work even better for us and for obviously people that purchase from us. So yeah, enjoying it. It's great. It's a buzz.
Sounds good, mate.
It ain't great doing 43 filters like that's a bit of a pain in the ass, but part of the job, isn't it? It's got to be done. Fish have got to be looked after. They've all required it. Is Matt asleep now, or is I know it's no?
No, I was just going to send something to you.
King's grinning about it.
Kinky,
yeah.
You was gonna, but you couldn't get a connection.
I'm trying to.
I shall wait then. Right, let's get into a little bit of koi appreciation then. I'll have a look at we'll have a look at these all comments.
That's grinning and nodding.
I'm trying. It'll come through eventually. Carry on.
It'll
Come through for next week.
It'll come. It'll come up. Oh, who is the more knowledgeable Stoddart, Ricky or Ryan? If you can say Ryan, just because you're. To be fair, mate, I hadn't had any interaction other than the morning and a little bit of a chat with Ricky. So I will give you the answer that I've heard Ryan say in the past. They was both trained by the same people together at the same time, so their knowledge is of equal, and their likes and tastes are of an equal.
Being on the fence, you're such a
That's
politician.
not on the fence. I don't know. I couldn't say. I can't say. Oh yeah, Rick is, or oh yeah, Matty. Ryan is, because I've only ever worked with Ryan. I've never ever worked with Rick. So I've just had polite conversation with him and a morning and hello, a bit of a natter and a lunchtime. That's it. So,
If they do different things as well, though, don't they?
yeah, they do. Yeah.
They've gone down sort of different paths with what they do. So similar, but still differences, isn't there? So
I mean, I couldn't. They would have to answer that themselves. And I would guess Ryan would say Ryan and Rick would say Rick. But I would say personally, they've got it all from the dad beforehand. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Andy's been doing it a hell of a long time, hasn't he?
Knowledge-wise, it's Ricky hands down. His ability to look through breeders, understand development, pick a fish that is one for the future is outstanding. Dealer-wise,
you say that, but yet his brother's getting more and more results within the shows, picking fish that are developing.
He's got more customers to be able to do that with. So this is where I was going to say, dealer-wise, Ryan is by far a better dealer, in my opinion, with regards to what's available all of the time.
I stayed on the fence.
I didn't.
But you've had interactions with both, haven't you?
Yeah,
so it's fair for you to say. I have.
They've both got their qualities. Don't get me wrong. The question was knowledgeable. Ricky, his knowledge on koi is exceptionally good. Exceptionally good.
Well, you don't have to look, Mark.
Rick summed it up. They do different things. So
yeah, they do.
What their knowledge base requires is they're both good in what it is that they do. But if you look at what Rick is doing with regards to, he's got parent fish and stuff like that now, and he's going through Fujo and ND, right? His knowledge base is going further into the breeding cycle in Japan, and creating a bloodline of his own. So, Ryan don't need to do all that. He just needs to have an understanding of who's got the best fish for sale, and what customers want, where I don't think Ricky really does that as well, if I'm perfectly honest.
There you go.
that's always a difference, isn't it? What customers want for your business is important, but if you're doing something for a passion and a hobby and a drive, then you follow your own path, don't you?
Absolutely. I mean, one thing that Ricky can do is grow a really fucking good fish.
Oh man, I've seen his fish. I seen ones he took from 12 cm.
Yeah.
God damn. And the slabs, they are. I thought I'd never see fish like I'd seen in Japan. But he's got some big bodied fish like they are in Japan. And they were bangers. And he's grown them from this.
Yeah. But he's also grown them from a huge selection to get them there as well.
Yeah. But his selection on the lease.
Well, yeah, his selection from the fish he had, yeah, totally.
Yeah. Now then, hang about. What did you send me, Matt? Because not come through.
No, I put it on your post in the end because it is the question going. So we can do it later.
All
on.
right. So it's in there with
Let's
the
start looking at
comments.
them then.
Let's do that.
Do it because I'm gonna have to go to bed soon. I don't know what time it is.
Yeah, you got a heavy session. You got a heavy session tomorrow night.
Well, what are you doing tomorrow?
Going to Matt's, taking fish,
Right.
Oh.
Who is the
taking somebody's back.
Get some of your pond back, Rick.
Yeah, I need space. Been doing my head in.
Right, first one that we've got then is going to be from. Oh, it's got sound of it too. I'll mute that down. First one's from Paul. Chris Brown says, "Leave my last week's Karashi vid out. Send me a better one." Okay, mate. You posted a better one. Will do. Right. So this
Oh, you
first
put
one.
a different fish in then?
No, it's the same fish. You just put a better video in.
Oh, okay. Not a better fish.
Not a better fish. Same two fish, just a better video. So the first one is from Paul Cunningham.
Good old Paul Cunningham, North East Show chairman.
72 cm. That's one hell of a fish, man. God damn. That's literally only just fitting in that bowl, isn't it?
It's a bigger bowl, doesn't he?
Yeah, you're going to need a bigger
I
bowl.
I reckon that's only 40 cm, but he's only got like a 40.
It's only in a feet.
It's a stonker, though, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Do we know where it's from?
No. Unless
Big
it says
blue bowl.
it's from his pond and now in a big bowl. But very nice fish. Paul, where's it from?
A cower. Put the money in.
A cower. It is.
Oh, boom! The money's in the pot.
Get Rick.
Get the lottery on.
Bang at that. A cower. Right. So that's the first one that's been posted in there.
Body.
I don't know if we can do the next one that way, because the next one is literally Matt's platter of food.
Right?
Oh, where's it gone?
Did you read that on the chat by any chance, Rick?
It was quick if you
I'm
did.
ready, chat, mate. I was
No,
only
I'm on
before the
about on
chat.
Facebook.
No, I haven't been on Facebook.
Oh.
I'm just good like that, mate. The cows ones are like Kanishi. They look like the original Kanishi ones. That no one gets anymore.
The next
A
one.
bit of Germany.
The next one is Rick Howard. This is a mint. I think this could be it for me.
No.
It's good though, man. It's really nice.
Judges shouldn't show their hand.
I'm not judging. It's bloody nice. Look at that chunky monkey. That's got some good body to that. Look at shoulders on that. Scalation's mint.
I think I prefer the first one. There's not a lot of cool between them.
Judges shouldn't be judging. Think
I'm
about.
not a judge, am I?
Yeah, no.
The thing is, the first one's probably 20 centimeters bigger than that.
It's not about the size.
Yeah, it is.
Is it?
You didn't see the one else.
Category goes grand champion then. So we have to have a grand champion, a champion, a second and a third.
Mature adult, junior, baby.
Is there a shortage of water?
That's nice, isn't it? That's good fish, that.
That is a good fish. And then we've got Richard Asa, a little bit of a Ginvin. in a floating basket.
Richard
Hence
Acker.
the shortage of water on that one.
Gin's nice on it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Looks like a male, though, and ain't got the same sort of body as the other ones.
Coffee, please. Mini house. And I'm not going to bother clicking that because it never chuffing works. So I'll bring up the next one, which is Thomas Murray's. That's a nice fish too.
Yeah, nice young fish.
Looks more like one of your yellow monkeys, doesn't it?
It does look like a yellow monkey, doesn't it?
Looks about, I don't know, 35, 40 cm.
It's got a good body profile. Nice shoulders developing on it as well. Nice.
Look at
what's
the
it called?
spine in it, mate. Fucking burst out the skin.
Fukarin. What was it that guy called it? Fukarin.
Fuckering. Good old fuckering.
Nice.
Nice fish.
Quality, yeah.
Yeah, very quality.
Karen Stevens, 75 cm, a cower, purchased from Matt, and I couldn't get any more water in the bowl. Crafter.
Then you're ready.
Sorry, Matt, we lost you then.
No worries.
Oh, damn. We've got an extreme close up there.
How big was it? 70 what? 5?
Do it 75 or 72?
Fucking hell.
This is from you,
I don't
Matt.
know if that's the angle of the picture. What body line doesn't look quite right, does it?
I reckon it could be a little bit of something to do with the filming. Like,
No, I'm not so sure.
it does look a bit short-bodied, doesn't it? A bit.
Short body, 75 centimeters.
No, I mean, no, all right.
I knew what you meant.
This is different. These are sweets. These are Cadbury's mini eggs.
I've
This
got
is where it gets hard, isn't it? Because
shepherd's pie.
you got people filming from in front and on top, and then this one's makes the fish look.
Yeah, because you're filming it
thin
out.
on the tail.
Yeah.
We did get a real good close-up of its head, though.
It's definitely got a bit of girth to it.
Yeah. I reckon it's a female. Yeah, you definitely zoomed in there, mate. Could have a bit further back, but we will leave that with the judge's decision.
Can only judge on what we can see.
Now, these two obviously is the ones that he shared earlier about the fish to the next one. But this is Chris Brand's. Now that's
a Bendigoy, that.
no, it's not.
What is it?
It's a Karashi guy. It's a red Karashi.
Look the fucking same to me.
Well, I'm only saying just a, there is supposed to be a red Karashi guy, isn't there?
They are sold as it, aren't they? But
Yeah.
that Deutsch one there has got exactly the same body profile as the last one, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's big and then tucks in too much for the tail end. But yeah, the Bendigoy red Krashi's stonking.
Yeah. So what Rick's saying is there, it's a bit of a plump one. But that could be egg, couldn't it? No, it's not in the right place, is it?
Chris,
No, but even if it is, you still judge.
has it got a yellow belly, your red Karashi?
Has it got a red belly?
Yellow belly.
Yellow belly, because it should fade to a yellowy orange underneath, shouldn't it? If it is. Super red Karashi, Marahiro. And then Matthew House sent us one, which is in the mix.
Fucking mate, you need to turn your camera sideways,
He can't.
fucking useless, man.
It's the usual Deutsch profile. To be fair, mate. Yeah.
No wonder
Let me
all
guess
your
the breeder.
customers are sending in photos all over the place, mate. You're teaching them right, yeah.
That's a nice fish. That's a lovely colour fish, isn't it?
That's nice, that.
A lovely shape to it.
Swim's nice too. You have
See,
to
I've still got the belly guy on my screen, or the red crunchy guy. Now I got it.
You just delayed,
You've
mate.
got West Internet them dial up.
yeah, it's nice.
Cheers, sweet.
Yeah, just lovely that, mate. Again, another
She
nice
needs,
one.
she needs to go on the breeding program, I reckon.
She's 6 on my list at the minute.
This is what I like about the Karashi guy, though. It's got to be good, hasn't it? And I don't mean that in a nasty way. I'm not saying that anybody's not sending anything good, but for a single colour fish to shine, it's got to be good because it's got no other attributes other than the body and the scalation
And the colour tone and the
yeah,
face
the colour
shape.
tone.
Face shape, colour
It's not
tone,
like it
skin,
can't hide behind the pattern, can it? That's what I'm meaning in a sense.
scalation, reticulation, deportation.
You know what I meant? It's no pattern to hide behind, though, has it? It's got nothing like a Sankey or a Showa or a Kaku. It's a single colour fish has got to do it all with that one single thing.
The head colour to the body colour is lovely on that. Real good, perfect symmetry. Like it. It's the shimmies in the tail though that spoil it.
Shut up.
Go
get-
everyone's looking now.
Yeah,
There
man,
ain't nothing.
that wave, man.
That's nice. The thing is, that fish stood out at Marahiro's in a pond full of good fish, and it was like
Is this the new one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
that stood out. And you think when you got that many big good fish in a pond, and
Yeah, we've got to decide whether she stays or whether she.
Goes up for sale. If anybody's interested, that fish is available if you can twist Matt's arm.
Mate, you
You
need
can't
to
argue because you can't
sell
stay connected for long enough to be able to say one way or other.
you wouldn't want to do a live auction with him, would you?
No.
You wouldn't know if you won or not.
A bang of that one. Right. So the next one, tell Rick the other. That's the one from earlier on. And this is another one from. Is this a recent receival? Oh, he's gone, hasn't he? Oh, damn, Matt.
No, Matt's there.
Oh, you're back. You're back. Is this a recent receival?
Well, 7 weeks.
You've had this one 7 weeks.
Yeah, if you can hear me.
I can hear you. You just only when you talk though.
Yeah, no, 7 weeks she's been there.
Oh, so this is another that you picked up in Japan.
Uh-huh.
Oh. You received some of us quite recently.
Yeah.
Tosai that then.
Yeah.
I'm going to say 29 cm.
What? That?
No, the other Ginring Karashi guy that we're looking at.
No, it's bigger than that.
Bigger than that?
Who's the breeder? Crap?
Who's all right? Is this who's the breeder?
What, do you know where you bought from? I've got no idea, mate.
Fuck the
Oh,
honest.
come on. Have a punt.
I've got no idea, mate.
You don't even look at
Oh, I
it. will
need
you?
to
Oh, no.
It's Dainichi.
That is one of Rick's fish.
Shut up. No offense, mate.
Is it a Dainichi?
No.
No.
Yeah, here we are.
Marahiro.
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, but that was one of his Nisai. You're lying. That's the small Niso, wasn't it?
Yeah, chibi.
Chibinisa.
And you want to call him Fred, not Frederica.
Plus 30 cm and a Chibinisa.
Yeah.
It was 30 cm when he bought it. It's 27 now.
I have a Ginring golden corn that actually looks like a Karashigo. How long before, if at all, before it starts to show Kanoko? They don't always show Kanoko, I don't believe, do they?
Some of them look like Crashigo. They are Crashigo, aren't they? Some look like a Sagi.
Right, so now we've got.
Thank you, my love. That was beautiful.
Is that the one, Matt? Is that the one that they're on about? Is that a cheeky monkey?
That's from back in the autumn. That was about 6 centimeters, about 12 weeks old.
That's looking nice. Look at
What's
scale.
it look like now, Rick? What's the face look like now?
Fuck knows, mate. Got into some
Sold
funds,
it.
haven't they? Huh?
Have you sold it?
No. But yeah, I don't even know what pond it's in, let alone.
I'd like to see what the head turns out like.
We got Vince's to have a look at. Big Betty. Now, obviously, he didn't want to be balling it up. So now he's got the capabilities of the new pond. We get to see it from top, and then we get to see it through window.
Bit like Keith Lemon.
Did you like what I did there?
Yeah.
We don't see you through week. I'll see you through window. Oh,
It's
no.
good if it swam. It swam below.
It swam off. It swam away from window.
Under the window.
Bastard.
Like that. As it went past.
What's it window?
There's another lot. That's a super mango as well, isn't it?
Yeah, he does have one, doesn't he? He does have a super mango, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I think he said that Betty was pushing 80 cm or something now. Sure he did.
About 75 maybe when I went to the show last year.
I think, yeah, I'm sure he said it was pushing up to yeah, super mango. Vince, what size is Betty now? Did you say that it's pushing up to 80 cm or 79? 70, something like that. Sure he did. And again, from top. 75 plus.
Nice for a Deutz, isn't it? That size. Holds itself well for a Deutz.
For me, there's a standout winner.
They're the standout winners.
That first one, I can't remember whose it was.
We shall go back to it.
It's,
There's our Vince's.
See what Andy's wrote.
Wow, Rick, nice to see how your stock is doing. It's his 15th grown pond, is that? So the first one, you're reckoning, no, it wasn't that one.
wasn't that one? It was in a round bowl, wasn't it?
It was Paul Cunningham's.
Paul Cunningham's, wasn't it? That one.
You're not showing mine?
Yes, just
Oh, you're reminiscing.
reminiscing. Somebody said, God damn sweets are nice. That's Paul's. And then yours is just too good though, mate. This fish is mint. This is a lovely fish.
I thought you were auctioning that off anyway.
I ain't mine.
Is that not the one you got at the shop then?
It's not my fish, mate. No,
Nice.
That one's yours, that.
I know it was.
You had me then for a minute. I thought I was showing the wrong one.
No, that Paul Cunningham's for me, mate.
I need to bring up. We've got one more yet. Anyway, and that does work. I'm just checking to make sure this one is Alan Day's. We've lost Matt again. God damn it.
Got to go.
Sorry, Alan.
He's got to go and unlock his phone.
Reason.
Shake the screen again. So this is it originally, I believe. And now that's a decent sized fish as well.
It's a different fish, that.
Now that's got some nice scalation, hasn't it?
Here's a little tip for you guys. When you do your videos, always head down, not up, so you can see the body line properly.
And preferably a bowl.
Big fish, though, and
It's a big fish. That. What do you reckon size that is? Does it say?
75, 80.
I do believe. Last year 46 cm, now 55 cm. Eating machine, always looking for food. Right. So we've seen them all. That's
Mr.
Paul
Cunningham takes it.
I'm not so sure. That's bloody nice. That it's a toss up between them two for me.
Yeah, there's a big difference, isn't it? One of them's double the weight, double the size. Well, not double the length, but double.
That's a nice fish too in its own class.
Yeah.
That's one for the show scene. Rick.
That looks way bigger than 49 cm, that, doesn't it?
That's because of the body mass, though, Kazza.
Yeah.
But if you look at Paul's body, the body mass on Paul's for the size of that fish, that's fucking extremely good.
Yeah.
Keeps a good body line as well.
And that's 72 cm and still maintain the mass.
Yeah.
You sent me 3 different fish. God damn, Alan, you want your 5 pence worth, don't you? Let me find you another one. Send me 3 different fish. Oh, so you did. Oh shit. God damn, that's a big fish too.
The crashes get big, mate, don't they? Yeah,
I hope so.
I do.
I have a new Forest Deutsch one. It's lovely. I should have put if I'd have managed to get home in time, I would have netted mine up. But that's a big fish as well.
Scalation's nice, isn't it?
Oh my god, that's nice too.
Yeah, that's nice, isn't it?
That is nice.
Dainichi, that is.
Oh, get in on that. Shit. No, actually, when it's below the water, the gin was more vibrant than when it just broke the water.
Serious backbone on it, isn't it?
Yeah, it has. That's a good, powerful body as well, isn't it? What you're saying now, we've seen another one.
Still that first one for me for getting it to that size, looking that good.
Paul Cunningham takes it. Who's going to take second place then? Because that's a serious contender.
Yeah, but that's only like a 30 cm fish or whatever, isn't it?
About 45, that is.
It's a lot. As they get bigger, it's for me. It's the first big pictures, isn't it?
Yeah.
That is that fish, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that one
Is
being that one.
Yeah. That's what I said, those different fish.
It's are relaxing in the hot tub.
So, Ben, tell us about the Los Angeles Olympics.
Yeah, Alan won that yellow monkey on the auction.
On yours?
Yeah. Yeah, Colin Holland won one and Al won one, yeah. So I've done 2 of them.
Nice, that, mate. I like the yellow monkey, to be fair. That means that's one hell of a fish from Paul's, though. So Paul's taking first place.
What gets seconds, Rick?
I really like that one, me. Rick, I mean, for me, I'd pick that one.
It'd be hard to argue against it.
That's lovely. As you said, Crafty, in its own class.
Yeah, mate. Oh, yeah. Size-wise, yeah,
That's got a real good frame to it, real good body to it. Nice, clean head.
nice. It's got good reticulation coming up the spine.
It does, yeah.
The problem is that the reticulation makes them, but when you put the gimrin in, you lose that reticulation.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, I agree.
Mr. Zero Wi-Fi.
Oh, he looks better like that. He looks
Mr.
better
Zero.
like that.
I'm on walkabout now.
Your beard's grown and all. Turn your phone that way, then.
Oh, and it's clearer. Normally, like,
Is that better?
Yes, look at that.
That he's moving. He's got colour. I thought he was just grey, but he's actually got colour.
It's actually, yeah. Well, look at it. It look like a totally
I
different
can see
colour.
his wrinkles as well. Fuck me, you're old. Go back to your other picture.
He's got his cardigan on. I thought it was a grey one, but it's actually a brown taupe.
Thomas Murray's is a nice one as well, though. That's a. I think Thomas might take a third place. That's a fish with some good potential, isn't it? That.
Absolutely. Good body shape, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, have chubby cheeks.
So we got a first, second, and a third. And GC.
But mine's better than that, though, Gus.
It's not yours.
Well, fair play, yeah. Well, they're gonna-
It's works.
Aquatics, mate.
Perfect aquatics. Yeah, I mean, that's stunning in itself. There we go.
I'll still
That
pick.
is the koi appreciation. Oh, and that is us twice. So that's the koi appreciation for this week. Right. Crafty,
Go ahead.
pick a fish for koi appreciation for next week. A variety.
Ginrin Sankey. Let's go with your event.
But is your name being crafty?
Well, I need it to be.
This time of year,
Can make it.
let's go with a saggy.
An asagi. Ah, that's a good one. Yeah, asagi. And we're going to say snow. We'll also have snow asagi, Ginrin asagi.
Kanoko.
Oh, and yeah, Kanokos would be really good. Yeah.
Who
All
has-
varieties of asagi. We don't want the Dutch counterpart, which would be
Budgie.
budgies. Budgies. Sure. Shisui. We'll do them on another one. So all types of asagis for next week. Koi appreciation, if you wouldn't mind, guys. That would be absolutely fantastic.
Could I just add quickly, Gus?
You can, mate. Yeah. Just good night, Gwen.
Not this weekend, weekend next. All right, 27th. If you haven't got your Odecan Grow and Show tickets, they're still available. If you want to have a look at what they look like, check out the YouTube channel. Promo video dropped yesterday. Just quick insight into what to do and where to buy them as well, if you're interested. Thank you.
Perfect aquatics. Matt, why have I got you in twice?
Don't know. I think it was that.
Your fake one's gone. So right, there we go, guys, ladies and gents.
With
I
the
did
crap
say that we were gonna do up till 10 o'clock this evening. I am gonna start making these a little bit shorter, and so I can still have an evening meal because I haven't eaten yet, apart from those chocolates that you just watched me eat earlier.
Oh, Jesus.
So,
Mate,
Gaz. I don't use Facebook. That's all right, Mark. We'll sort some out. Just you send me a message, and I'll make sure that I get it through, and I'll put it up for you, mate, regardless. But Mark says I've got a banger. Sweet. So anybody that wants to be in again and do part of the Koi appreciation next week, if you could do us a huge favor, drop them in now. I'm going to say it. If Facebook is the easiest, you can use my YouTube email address, but that is going to be changing because obviously I've just changed providers. So the Gazza's Koi Pond 1 at virginmedia.com will only last for another couple of more weeks and then it'll be replaced. So for next week, if anybody does want to email them through, you can do, but ideally best for me on Facebook. It's easier to share them. I will be putting up a little link and a little tab, which is if anybody's got any topics and anybody wants to share their fish, you'll see it on Facebook come Tuesday, Wednesday next week. Usual thing, guys. If you've been enjoying this kind of content, do us a huge favor. Like, share, subscribe. Tell a friend. And until next time, keep smiling, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
Short and sweet.
Yeah.
Love that. Bedtime.
Bedtime. Good night, all. See you back.
All cricket bats.